Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, your favorite Star Trek podcast.
Oh, we're back to clapping. Clapping's returned.
Yay! Thank you. I want
and
to
the
thank
return of Caitlin.
all the little people.
Mirror Caitlin is back.
How do you know it was? How do you know it was Mirror Caitlin? Is it because my goatee is showing?
This is an AI that we created to mimic what Caitlin would say.
Diarrhea, fisting.
Yeah. we just trained it on 4chan and.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yikes. Anyway, we're here today for A Star to Steer Her By, episode 379. Woo! Hot diggity dog, edging ever closer to 400. Today we're
edging, eh?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say it, but
I expected you to. There was a moment. It's like, oh, interesting.
It came as quickly as I could.
Hey.
So today we're talking about Discovery, season 1, episode 11, The Wolf Inside. Ooh. Inside you, there are two wolf.
Sorry about the transporter accident.
Oh boy. Ooh. Wow, that's holy shit. This first aired 7 years ago today.
No,
wow.
That is
Today's
not
the,
today.
Is it today the 14th?
It is not.
Oh, today's the 12th.
Yes.
Okay, well, almost exactly 7
Good
years.
try.
I'm like, last year, 17 years ago, 2 days ago. Anyway, it came out around this time 7 years ago. Okay, The Wolf Inside. Aru. Okay, so we're in the Mirror Universe. There's a mysterious emperor. Maybe we'll find out who it is.
Nope.
We're gonna find out who it is. And let's see. Lorca's being agonized. Michael's being agonizing. Ash is being fucking crazy. Culber is dead. And we discover him. I can't believe they didn't have a scream when that woman found, like, fucking Stamets, like, being like, no trees in the forest.
Well, that's just typical Stamets shit. She's
Well,
like,
yeah,
oh,
but he's not usually holding his dead husband. Or fiance, boyfriend?
Husband.
They are married at this point? I can't remember. Anyway, Culber's still dead. Hey, Stamets also dies, in spite of Tilly trying her best, so we just get that out of the way. And Michael is... She's going to the Rebel base, where it looks like it is, in fact, Hoth Cold, to talk to Vok. And she and Tyler go down, and Tyler flips the fuck out when he meets Vok, because he is starting to figure out that he is Vok.
Oh my
God.
That's a shocker!
He was a robot the whole time.
And it is really, as Chris pointed out when we were driving over here, he was like, and as soon as Vok speaks English, it is so obvious that he is in fact Ash Tyler. And I was like, oh yeah, it is very obvious once he speaks English. So Tyler's like, I remember everything. I'm Vok. You suck. And fuck you. He tries to kill Michael. Michael shoots him into space. He gets blasted back onto Discovery where they're like, to the brig, bitch. I already said that Stamets dies. It's pretty much the whole episode. Sarek shows up and he has a sweet beard. He does a mind meld. That's it. I mean, that's really the episode, right? Oh, and then at the end, the Emperor is Giorgio. Boom.
Did we get the info back to Discovery yet?
Yes, with
yes.
Tyler's.
With Tyler's corpse?
Not corpse.
Great.
Yeah.
Right, because she's like, but I'm going to need... I just warned you about the impending attack, so I'm going to need something from you. And they're like, here's some shit that you can decode, but it's going to be wrong.
Not that data.
Oh,
the data about the Defiant.
Oh, right, the
She
Defiant.
stuck it into his pocket.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you have it.
Yeah.
That's the episode. It's like it really doesn't boil down to that much, but it feels like a pretty packed episode.
It pays off some stuff in ways that I found stretchy as hell.
Yeah.
This might be my least favorite episode, and it made me very sad when I read like Keith DeCandido's review. And he's like, "This is my favorite episode so far." I'm like, "Oh no,
Yeah,
crap!
it's
I'm
very-
bad."
I still think it's better than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, that wasn't great.
Here's what I didn't like about this one.
All right.
The writing.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, like it was just the plot that was like, it felt superfluous. In this one, there are full scenes that I'm like, this is horribly written. And I'm going to read one to you right now.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Is there more than one voice? Let's do it.
Let's do it. You can be Vok.
Oh, boy.
Make sure to put like 3 fingers in your mouth.
Actually, should I be Vok since I've got extra teeth?
You listen, dealer's choice.
No, I'll do Burnham and cry. So this is right after she's gotten mind-melded by Sarek, and now Mirror Vok trusts her. Wait, I told you I wanted something in return.
And you have earned that right.
You lead this group of vastly different species. A Klingon whose pride of honor is eternally fused with his identity as a warrior stands side by side with a Vulcan who cannot possibly comprehend his need for aggressive emotional expression. And a willful Andorian looks to you not with hostility, but with allegiance. I need to know how. How have you come to compromise and embrace each other?
Oh, so I'm not here then, says the Tellarite.
Do they ever show the Tellarite?
Several times. They're the
I
boar-looking
forgot he was even
motherfuckers.
there.
Well, because if they had brought him up, he would have just been like, actually, we don't even get along that well, and then war would have re-erupted. Or maybe they're actually really agreeable in this universe. So it'd be like, well, the Tellarites are
That'd be
bitches, and he'd be like, Butters being like, that's right, I'm a little bitch. That
Wow.
sounded like Cartman, not
Yes,
Butters,
it did.
but I don't really care.
Probably all the same
Anyway,
voice
yeah, sorry.
actor, right?
The light of Kalos guides me. And all
Kalish.
And then Tyler has a couple of flashbacks, because of course he does.
Kalos, together under one creed.
But the light of Kalas demands that you honor the ways of your race. Yet here you are speaking in a foreign language, placing your faith in the cultural customs of others.
I've got face of the heart. I am here. I have survived only on the shoulders of my comrades. You are last hope.
And then and then Tyler's having more memories.
Our
and
pure-
there.
The human she Klingon extinction. They can't. It's not
Too
good.
much,
I
too
wish
much.
Justice was here.
Turning into Sean Connery.
They have denied us of our rituals, our language. That is why I fight.
The Terrans
Oh,
will
sorry,
not,
that's my Jean-Luc Picard fucking
Yeah.
accent, actually. My bad.
the Terrans will not stop until all their enemies are destroyed.
And a Terran enemy is a Klingon friend.
We're doing all the voices today.
Yep.
So, you are united by the common adversary. But does that union not contradict your drive to defend the Klingon honor at all costs?
Klingons stand together and strong. It is only with our houses in order that we can begin to invite others in. Quark!
Oh, I was going to say, is that Martok?
No, I was trying. No, I was trying to channel an Odo.
Oh, wow. Tough
Oh
one.
no, Odo. Yeah, no, it's no good.
So this whole scene is Burnham saying, how does resistance work?
it's
what
so
makes-
stupid.
Well,
What
it's
makes
like-
people come together when they're being oppressed?
Well,
What?
It's not even just that though. Like my takeaway was that, okay, they needed to have this.
They needed to say
Side
Kalis a
quest.
bunch of times,
Yeah.
so both
Kalis!
so Tyler
Well,
would
yeah,
go
well,
nuts.
the whole
That
point of
was
the
it.
side quest
And I hated
was
it.
for Tyler
Tyler.
to activate his
Yeah.
Manchurian protocols.
I don't know. That whole
but-
bit there was just needless bullshit, though.
Yeah, no, it's really stupid, and especially the way she's like, and the willful
I hated it. I hated
Andorian,
it.
and
Sorry,
the
you were
logical
you were pontificating, Jake.
Vulcan.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
point of it.
Yeah, so it was pointless other than to have Tyler activate.
Yeah.
I think that the writers are like, oh, we can't, like, we need to give her a reason to go there. So what reason would Burnham have to go there? So, and my takeaway from that whole little speech thing was she's looking for an insight into the Klingon thought process that she can apply.
But she didn't know it was going to be Vogue.
Of course she didn't know it was going to be Vogue, and she didn't even know there were going to be Klingons there, which is why I think
Oh,
it's...
he was the Fire Wolf, which
No,
I
I
do
think-
like.
I think they did say they knew the Firewolf was a Klingon. They didn't know it was Vogue, but they did know he was a Klingon.
But, well, either way, it's stupid. It was, a stupid, like you say, the writing of that scene is terrible.
Oh,
The-
it's
the
so
reason
bad.
for her to be there is terrible.
Yeah, I think my main problem with it is like these are mirror Klingons.
That's what
you
I
don't
was just thinking.
necessarily know that.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah,
Why
like-
are
And
assuming
they
these
do
things?
know that they would be different because, like, Kirk has already been there, so right?
No,
They
No.
Kirk is in the future.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
No, this is before TOS.
Right, I forgot. Oh shit.
But
okay.
also, yeah, if you wouldn't know, yeah. But
all right. Well, then I take it back. So
yeah,
then,
the only real reason, quote unquote, you need for her to go down there is to be like, you guys need to fucking run because
Yeah.
I'm not actually from here.
Yeah,
Also-
the thing I do like... Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
No, I just wanted to, before we get too
get
far
it.
from it, I wanted to make a about Caitlin's point about Kirk already being there. Technically, Kirk has already been here.
Oh shit.
Because he phased to this universe in the Tholian web in the distant past, which is how the Defiant got there.
Fair point.
Oh my god,
So
I did
Kirk
not
has,
think of that.
Kirk has already been in this universe.
That's a great nerdgasm there.
He
right
did.
there,
He
Jake.
didn't know about it, but he's been here.
Wow.
Wow.
I hate it. But the other, the thing I kind of respect about this episode is Burnham's kind of inner turmoil of not wanting to become like one of them, even though all of her fucking narration lines make me want to scream. Oh, am I becoming one of them? No, I can't. Blah blah blah.
It becomes easier every day. The one thing I feared. Like, calm down, Burnham.
Yeah, I hate all that, but I do understand, she's going down there to kind of embrace, no, I can't just be a killer. I'm going to try to help people. That's good. That's a Burnham-y thing to do, and I get it. It's just written abysmally.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not
definitely
their strongest lead.
It's a bit clunky. I think aside from the scene with Vogue, which was really dumb, it didn't bother me over much. Again, a little too much narration at the beginning because these guys don't understand subtlety.
No.
I did, though, like the acting, at least, of the scene where her and Vogue, Tyler goes full Vogue in her quarters.
That whole time, I'm just stun him.
Yeah, why didn't she shoot him at any point?
The moment you realize he's Vogue, you stun him, you deal with him later.
Because she lures him.
That's why you should stun him.
Also, they established earlier in the episode that the standard means of execution here is to beam you into space. Mm-hmm. And then, it comes up later when that's how they sneak Tyler back onto Discovery.
Yeah.
But I think that method of execution is not...
It's tame.
It's not remotely cruel enough.
That was my thought, yeah.
Here's what I was hoping.
Yeah, it seemed really fast.
See, I was hoping that, the execution would be something really fucking gruesome, and then Burnham is like, no.
Space him?
He doesn't even deserve this. We're going to do a special execution for him.
I mean,
for his patheticness.
The thing is, while the execution itself is quick, all those people were probably in an agony booth for a month.
Yeah, I was going to say, the agony booths look bad enough.
Which I love to, when Burnham's like, I can't do this anymore, and fucking Lorca's just there oh, I'm sorry you have to play pretend while I spend 13 hours a day in an agony booth.
Oh, but he likes it.
He does,
He probably does.
I mean, honestly, they probably should have brought Tyler to the agony booth, and then they could have a scene of him and because Burnham requested to talk to
Lorca,
they could have passed each other in the hall.
Yeah, so here's one thing that did bother me immensely.
Immensely, you say?
How immensely?
The rescue of Tyler makes no sense, because as far as we know, Discovery has still been chilling in that debris field it first got to.
Yeah, how did they know?
So even if...
Michael must have called him.
Right, but even if she had time to call them and be like, get the fuck over here, we know she's been on the ship, presumably at high warp, for a couple of days. They can't jump because Stamets is malfunctioning.
Oh.
And even if they could just warp there in time, how did the Shenzhou not notice them show up?
I mean, I'm gonna say, here's my headcanon for that, is that Discovery's been trailing at warp the Shenzhou.
Which is an assumption we never see, or what?
I don't think we ever see
We
it.
actively, that's the problem, is I would think that too, except they actively show them still at the debris field at one point in the episode.
Oh, damn it.
So they haven't been shadowing.
Or they just have transwarp beaming.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was like, I definitely didn't think of this the first time I watched the episode, but now I was like, wait a minute. I mean, yes, maybe they had time, they warped in, we know you can warp in behind a moon or something to avoid... there's definitely canon explanations that would work.
Yeah.
But it's still
Yeah, it's clever, but then when you think about it, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a little hold on.
And we also know that they have communication with Discovery because earlier in the episode she gets a phone call from Saru, who's like, "Hey, have you seen any people like me?" And she's like, "Actually, yeah, you gave me a sponge bath a couple hours ago."
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, have you seen Hugh lately?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's fine and alive."
That is, by the way, so weird to me because I know this is a thing people do have done and have had historically done, but I don't want somebody giving me a bath and dressing me.
That feels real uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a power thing. And
a power thing.
I get that's what it is, but I can't imagine actually, just outside of the show, just in real life, I cannot imagine having the kind of mindset where I want that.
A lot of people do.
No, I know, and that's a special kind of fucked up to me. I'm just I'll bathe myself, thank you. Yeah. This is strange.
Well, I think part of it too is not thinking of the person that's bathing you as a person.
Yeah, no, I get it makes perfect
It
makes perfect sense for the mirror universe and all that shit. I get it. It just the fact that people do that in real life, Jesus Christ. Like, unless you need the assistance, get over yourself. Like, obviously, yeah, some people need the help, but that's a very different
Maybe
thing.
Mirror Michael Burnham has a shoulder problem and can't reach her back.
Fair.
Yeah, I did read some stuff on mirror kelpians, which is fun. And that was that, firstly, in that scene when...
They taste like chicken.
When Doug Jones is supposed to be bathing Burnham, but he's got on his kelpian gloves that kept getting soaked in water.
Oh, no.
Gross.
And apparently it was just fucking laughable, that whole fucking scene that was supposed to be so serious. So that's kind of funny.
I'd love to see the outtakes.
Yeah, but also their original plan had been, we should have some kelpians in the Resistance when we go down to Harlack with Firewolf and friends. Which would be a great show. But then they were like, we've already got like 5 different guys in costume and makeup and alien garb down there. Can we not add yet another very difficult to deal with makeup job, since we just learned in Sea Beach Possum Parabellum how annoying it is getting the Kelpian in real world situations. So they said, well, what if they're a slave race? And they're like, yes, that one.
That works.
But what if they also taste like chicken?
So this is interesting,
they
right?
definitely do.
Slave race made me think of it. So we meet Mirror Sarek, who, as is Vulcan tradition in the Mirror universe, has a goatee.
Yeah, that's fun.
Which is a fun callback.
Yes.
But we know that Mirror Spock is in Starfleet.
Yeah.
Is this, 10 years before? Do we know he is right then?
Presumably.
I like
he is in the normal universe by then, isn't he?
But that must mean that Sarek is, or had been married to Amanda Grayson.
But also that
Spock exists.
Because Spock exists.
He's estranged from his son in both universes because he joined Starfleet.
Yeah, he fucked extra off in Mirror Universe.
Oh, Sarek's a bad dad in every universe.
Yeah, but I wonder how the Amanda thing came to be, considering how shitty humans...
Spock had her killed.
Well, I mean, just like, how did she end up with Sarek? Unless she's like maybe she's a pacifist human that didn't want to be involved in.
Possible.
Was it a forced?
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be
marriage?
some kind of punishment.
I can guarantee there are novels about this.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, I guess that's always kind of been a question.
Yeah, it just never
mirror, but it
occurred
comes
to me before now. Yeah.
Now that we have a verified Sarek sighting in the Mirror universe.
I mean, if we go by, like, especially 60s and DS9 standards, she's kind of some kind of crazy dominatrix type who saw Sarek, decided she liked him, and was like, that's my husband now.
That's my husband.
Well, we know from Deep Space... It's so fucking stupid to arguing about the Mirror universe, because it just makes zero sense no matter what. So, like, why are we even talking about it?
Like I said last week, you embrace it and go on.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, like, we know that there are, quote-unquote, good humans, because Smiley exists, and he's pretty okay.
Tinkerer, fixer of things.
What's her name there?
Esri.
Cisco.
Jennifer
Cisco, yeah. Mirror Jennifer Cisco. She's okay.
Is she?
I mean, she's...
Yeah, well, until she fucking shows up and, like, makes herself part of Jake's life, which
tries
is
to act.
gross. Yeah, well, that too. Do I know you, ma'am?
Listen, she was hired to die in one scene.
She had a scene. She got a drink from Ben on that beach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lemonade.
With her top off.
Oh, Coco Ono's.
But yeah, it's the one time I was like, oh, you could have recast that part and we wouldn't have cared. It was years later.
Jennifer part?
Oh,
yeah.
you got her. Great.
Good work.
Anyway, this is Jennifer Cisco hour.
Thank God.
I will say, I feel like this episode also finally reveals... Like, I'm sure they wanted to kind of redesign the Klingons anyway, just put their own mark on them. But it does feel like a huge part of the reason for the major nature of it was so it would be easier to hide Tyler.
Oh, maybe.
Because, like, back in the day, when you just slap a forehead on them, you'd be like, that's just Tyler, guys?
Yeah.
Whereas this...
Oh, Worf is in disguise. Sure.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Like, whereas, like, now it's like, there was that scene, where both Voq and Tyler are there. It's like, man, the makeup's so thick. They could easily, like, in the scene where they have to look at each other, that was probably just another guy in Voq's mask. They didn't have to pull any weird mirror tricks.
Yeah, up until this point, all the Voq character was under a false name in the credits and stuff. I forget
Yeah.
the name, because I don't have it in front of me. But Shazad Latif named it after his father,
Oh.
which is cute.
I mean, they could have also just had a different actor play Vogue.
Oh, yeah, they could have, but...
You know.
But kudos for them, because
Yeah.
once you hear Tyler start speaking in Klingon, you're like, oh god, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
He's been doing this the whole time.
And that's when you realize, too, it's not fully the teeth. Because when he starts speaking Klingon, he still kind of does the lispy thing. So that's something he was doing.
Whoa. Or either
The teeth made.
ADR'd it with his teeth in.
Or that.
Or
Or he was just
gargling marbles.
I was gonna say, or he was just like affecting it.
Speaking of things you see in the credits, they specifically put Michelle Yeoh in the post credits instead of the normal credits to hide it. And also, this is why they've been calling the Emperor instead of like Empress, which they did in Enterprise with Hoshi, so that it could be anybody.
Well, and it kind of makes sense too, though. Like, why would they differentiate if everybody is Sir in the future? Why would there be gendered titles? You know,
Doctress Crusher.
Ghost Fuckerus Crusher.
See, that should have been a real twist.
It was the ghost.
No. Instead of having him be captain of the Shenzhou, it should have been Emperor Connor.
Ah, good for Connor. We like him.
But yeah. So I guess that's the elephant in the room is they bring back Michelle Yeoh, who you'll recall from the first episode or the two-parter. She played the captain of the Shenzhou that Burnham got killed.
Whoopsie.
So, and I guess she appeared in a hologram later too.
Yeah, the very judgmental Will.
Yeah. So she's shown up a couple of times, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody watching this at the time who wasn't following it very closely would be like,
who the hell is that?
Yeah, why are we reacting this way to this woman?
I don't know. If you didn't pick up on that, you really weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. I mean,
yes.
She
It's
was
not like they picked someone from another show or something.
No, but it's been a while.
It wasn't like it was Emperor Connor.
It would have made if it was Admiral Cornwell or something, I could buy it, but it also just makes no sense. It's the mirror universe
in general,
nothing makes sense. Why is Saru here?
Tilly has murdered her way to captain at we don't know how old they haven't, but she's a cadet, so presumably she's supposed to be in her early 20s. So Killy has murdered her way to captain in no time flat. The mirror universe is just about how ruthless you can be.
Are we still under the impression that the Discovery switched places with Mirror Discovery?
They said they think that's what happened, but they've not.
Yeah, I don't think we ever see anything.
They're going to get back to the Prime Universe, and the entire war will have been won because Captain Killy is absolutely ruthless.
That'd be pretty good. It did make me wonder a little bit, but since we don't, I'm pretty sure we never see the actual ISS Discovery. How did they power their spore drive?
Evil mushrooms.
Well, we see
they just make slaves do it.
So we see. Maybe Mirror Stamets
at the very end,
in the dream sequence or whatever, the post-death whatever sequence.
Yep.
So my impression of what's going on with Stamets is he is corporeally dead, but that his consciousness has been uploaded into the mycelial network.
Does he have tardigrade DNA too?
He does.
Because those things can just, go into hibernation whenever they want.
Well, that's actually a possibility. But, that, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's a good point.
I did say they missed a trick by never having Stamets curl into a little dried out ball, but maybe he has. He just doesn't dry out.
Gross.
But at any point, his consciousness is existing in the mycelial plane now. And he meets another version of himself who's dressed in Mirror Universe garb. So presumably somewhere... There's the Mirror Stamets has also died or something.
Oh God, who knows? It could be anything.
Or it could just be a hallucination.
Some
we don't know.
sci-fi magic.
Yeah.
Here's what I wrote about this scene because it was my favorite thing. To spores, the cause of and solution to all of Stamets' problems.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? In the Mirror Universe, they have no qualms whatsoever about enslaving tardigrades.
No.
I was going to say they hook it up to Kelpians.
So it's run by an evil tardigrade. You know it's evil because it has an eye patch.
Evil Ripper, so cute.
Hard to tell the difference between evil and not evil Ripper, though.
It's got an eye patch and a goatee.
Goatee, yep, that's got to be it.
And actually, it loves being enslaved.
Yikes. Well, listen. It's
Lorca,
not my kink, but it's okay.
Lorca loves being tortured.
He really does. Lorca has got big step on my balls energy.
Oh, you brought up the Klingon makeup a moment ago. And it made me wonder, why didn't they do anything to update the Andorian makeup? Because they look almost identical to what they look like in Enterprise.
They gave them... they've given them, sort of extra defined chins and very heavy brows.
Yeah, I noticed the brows.
Which actually even almost have like little almost deedly bobs of their own. It's like, maybe overdoing it on the deedly bobs.
I don't know. I'd have to look at them side by side. Look at like Shran and this guy Shukar side by side.
Yeah, they do look different, and their blue is different too. They're more.
But why not do a redesign? Why not go nuts with the antenna or something?
Because it's not necessary. They didn't really redesign the Vulcans either.
Yeah, like in the past, the Andorians were basically just blue, and like Shran and like the Enterprise ones had purely 4 heads because I presume that's where they were hiding the motors.
Yeah.
And now they can do smaller heads because the motors have gotten more efficient.
Or they're just using CG antenna for all we know.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, they've got very like prominent fake like eyebrow areas now.
Maybe that's where the motors are now.
Maybe.
But yeah, I feel like the only species that got like a total makeover was the Klingons.
The Tellarites.
No,
I don't even remember what they looked like.
They to me looked like an evolution of the Enterprise Tellarites.
Fair, but they are definitely more boar-like than they have been in the past. They added like the little tusks and things.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, I'd say in order of operation, like the most redesigned are Klingons. Second is probably Tellarites. Then Andorians. Yeah, Vulcans they haven't touched because if you did that, that would be dumb, and people would fucking burn down the studio.
Look pretty much the same. Yeah, so it's interesting though that the Rebel Alliance that we meet is basically the founding members of the Federation minus humans plus Klingons.
Yeah, it's the Klingons instead.
Klingons are the take humans place in that alliance, which is interesting.
And I'm sure there are so many Romulans pretending to be Vulcans.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
They're managing to like sit on the side. Somehow, no one has fucked with them.
They're fully redesigned and look like Nosferatus now.
Yeah. But they're just sitting at the sidelines, like just waiting for the Terrans and the Rebellion to kill each other. Then they'll Romulan their way in, but then fail because their plan. Actually, no, these are Mirror Romulans.
They're competent. Holy
shit!
Their
plans are very fucking tight and lean and clever.
Unlike L'Rell's, which is slightly insane because I still don't quite understand what making Tyler a sleeper agent was meant to accomplish.
I still think. I mean, it
got them inside. Didn't it?
It was.
Yeah, but
it was to steal
what is
info. Steal info about Discovery and find out how they were able to do the magic.
I feel like she even says that, doesn't she?
Yeah, but it does feel like surely it would just be easier to like actually brainwash.
Nope, I'm sorry. We need to cut off your dick, saw down all your bones, and fucking just shove you right in there.
Or alternately, just somewhere in Starfleet, you could surely just find someone who you could buy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, everyone has... You can find someone that has some price. But then you wouldn't have the story they want, so...
Yeah.
That and L'Rell secretly got a thing for humans, so she wanted Vogue to be a dude.
That's gotta be it.
It's all very strange.
What else? Oh yeah, Kayla. She's here.
Detmer?
Yeah.
Ish. She got some lines.
She had a couple
She has more.
lines.
Mirror Detmer has more lines than normal Detmer.
Yeah.
She's just there for Burnham to shut her down every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
She's the Worf of the Mirror Universe.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, there was one line that was like, another terribly written line just for the audience, where it's like, "Oh, you're going to go to the place where the fire wolf is." She's like, the fire wolf, the leader of the resistance. And I'm like, wow, that is a line for the audience.
The exposition was so fucking bad.
So much.
It's like, yeah, we get it. I remember thinking that too. Oh yes.
Yeah, there could have been a way more natural way to do that.
There was a way more natural way to do a lot of these scenes because we've got the like hyper melodramatic Burnham narration scenes, and I think this is where like Burnham is at the level of Burnham that I find her to be for the rest of the show, where it's like, oh my god, everything is at a 10 for you in terms of how many emotions you have to be portraying.
It's so funny though that it's like it's not even a log entry; it's something she's just saying to Tyler after they fucked. Like, that's some weird pillow talk.
Yeah. Tyler's like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Jesus. He's probably very relieved when he found out he was a Klingon sleeper. He's like,
this explains some things.
Thank God I don't have to listen to her prattle on anymore.
She cries about everything.
But yeah, the Mirror Town, or Mirror Universe town.
Mirrortown.
Not
Going down to Mirrortown.
Not great. I don't love it. The Emperor, Giorgio, or assuming her name is Giorgio.
Sweet cape.
If that is her
very,
real name.
Very, very cool cape.
Very cool cape.
Good getup. So I like that.
And the crazy headdress. We'll get more looks at it later. They go all out with the ridiculousness of her costume. I love it.
Yeah, this is a good tease for next week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like they knew how to introduce the whole Emperor dealy.
Oh man, I would have loved. You know what they missed a big opportunity is to have Cornwell be like the torturer on Discovery,
That'd be clever.
and she could be like Lorca's tormentor or something.
Oh, that would be fun. Why
And
didn't
he
they
would
do
just have a
that?
huge boner the whole time.
Yeah.
Why are you enjoying this?
Well, because she's a psychologist too,
Yeah.
so she could like get into his mind, and but then I guess if they do, so okay, oh yeah. So we another thing that really irritated me about the Rebel base scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, Sarek melds with Burnham, and in there he sees himself, the prime version of himself. So he knows that like she's from another universe.
Yeah.
Oh,
He doesn't quite.
He never really
say
says it. Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I saw goodness in her or whatever.
Yeah, you can trust her. Trust me.
It's like what?
Okay.
Like you're leaving out pertinent information, and then Vogue Tyler freaks out, attacks Vogue, which somehow doesn't get him immediately killed.
He
I don't
really should.
like.
There were no stakes in that fight.
Why would Burnham being there have prevented Vogue or Tyler from getting shot?
Yeah.
Like they're mirror people. They're just going to shoot him regardless. So
Well, they're the nice mirror.
it
people.
made zero sense. And then after we have this attack, and Mirror Vogue is like, "Oh, you have betrayed us. We will kill you." Sarek's like, "No, stop, please, no."
I told you she's good.
She's good. I melded with her.
Yeah, but this is a different guy. You didn't meld with him.
I didn't meld with him, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right. So get out of here."
I mean, the thing is, they clearly value what Sarek says.
Yeah, but here's the thing that irritated me, and like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Did Sarek see how much Burnham was fucking Tyler?
Why didn't they then meld
Gross.
with
Tyler? That's a good question.
Because it's like, okay, I saw that Burnham's intentions are good, but his are fucked up, and now that he's like attacked us, maybe we should find out what his deal is.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Yeah, corroborate your evidence. Like, yeah, for all you know, this Burnham has like severe mental training or has been brainwashed in some way so that she can infiltrate your fucking resistance.
Yeah, well, even
both of them.
Mirror Vogue even suggests that maybe that's what it is, but he's like, no. But yeah, I feel like the reason he wouldn't say, "Holy shit, she's from another dimension," is because how fucking unhinged would that sound right then? He was just like, okay, these people take me at my word. I am not getting into the details. I will tell him later when we are on our own or something, because holy shit, my entire sense of reality has been turned up to fuck side down, so holy crap. I gotta process this.
Holy crap.
But he's got the mental discipline, so he understands.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why, like, any other, like, species would have been like, fucking what? But he was just like, fucking what in a Vulcan way. Like, fucking what?
Well, yeah,
I'll
I guess,
discuss this later.
and I guess the other, it's actually just perfectly in character with Vulcans. It's
Yeah.
like giving only the bare minimum
Yeah,
amount
there
of
it is.
information, not anything else that's important. Just she's got good intentions. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, it's don't hurt Tyler. He's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Sarek. Thank you.
Don't hurt Tyler. There needs to be a confrontation later on the ship.
He's melding, but he's melding, and he's just like, motherfucker joined Starfleet in that universe too? Oh!
My son is a disgrace.
I like
Sybok
that the only memories that we see in Burnham's mind are things that we've already seen on screen.
Well, cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Hadn't cast
Well,
Spock
a
yet.
clip show already.
But yeah.
Episode 2.
Although we do get plenty of montage stuff from Tyler of stuff we hadn't yet seen. So.
A lot of titties. More
Yeah,
titties.
well, those are the same.
I was gonna
titties.
say it's the same shot of the same titties.
Yeah, but
Was it the last episode where she was like, "You had quite an appetite"? Oh, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Why is she Jabba?
oh, Solo,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Ooh-dee-doo-boo-boo-boo, Tyler.
Wow, that's fucking racist.
Racist against Hutts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say I wasn't okay with it. I just said,
Wow.
what
So-
do I give a fuck about the Hutties?
All because Jabba's a dick.
They're all
There are
dicks.
good Hutts.
No, there's not.
I think in...
I know, there's like a Jedi or some shit, but
Boba
that's
There's a Jedi
Nonsense.
Jabba the Hutt guy?
a Jedi.
Oh my
a
God.
Jedi the Hutt,
I
isn't
wanna see
there?
that.
Isn't there a Padawan?
I think in one of the novels that is no longer considered canon.
No,
There
I thought
a-
it was on like one of the shows.
Oh, if there was,
Clone
I'm not
Wars
aware
or
of
some
it.
Okay,
shit.
here's the thing about...
All right, somebody Google this.
So,
What do you mean no?
Later.
like...
Don't Google
So
this.
Jabba the Hutt, his species is Hutt?
Yes.
But we
Yeah.
call him
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt. Like,
It's
Yeah.
not a reference to his size.
Well, no, I was assuming that it was like a title.
Oh.
Like Attila the Hun.
Here's the thing.
Or something.
I feel like that's what the intention had been, but then because EU...
I guess the Hun is a racial... That
true.
wasn't a good example, but...
No, it wasn't. But you're right. I
but
think
yeah.
it definitely felt like it was supposed to be a title. But then again, like, Star Wars is just the ultimate in Flanderizing things, because, like, all Corellians are just like Han.
Oh
you know,
my god, it's the worst.
They're all, don't tell me the odds, like, roguish bastards. It's very lazy.
Hmm.
But anyway, this is about Star Trek, which never Flanderizes anything.
There was a Tilly thing I wasn't a fan of. And
Was
that's
it,
when...
was it every time she was on screen?
Sometimes when she's on screen, she's fine. I still love the Killy look, and the Killy haircut's fun. But when
Yeah.
she's sciencing Stamets hard, that sounds terrible. Tilly, don't do it. And she's doing
loves science.
she's doing many sciences, and Saru comes in.
You can science me anytime. Sorry, Ames.
That's fine.
No.
So after she's done a lot of sciencing, Saru turns up to be like, Tilly, you're the best science girl I've ever met. How great science that you've done today. Look at how impressed I am with you.
How great science.
And she says, really? Are you impressed enough to recommend me for the command path? And he's like, maybe I will. And I'm thinking to in my loud brain, just because she's good at science doesn't mean she's going to be good at command. Son of a fucking bitch, these don't all lead to each other all the fucking time.
And then she murders Stamets, and Saru has another think.
Well, again, that is just how Star Trek do. Everyone wants to be a captain. It's silly.
Like Tilly.
Tilly the silly.
Well, now she's gotten a taste of the captain's chair.
True.
She doesn't want to give it up.
She's been licking the chair?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a mostly dead Stamets lying around, twitching. I'm like, that's just gas escaping.
Yeah.
Ooh. My final note worth sharing.
Human Bender does kind of look like Stamets.
Last note I wanted to share is that this is the longest teaser in all of Star Trek. We don't get to the opening credits until
Like 14
1406.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, I was sitting there when it popped on. I was like, oh, right, this hadn't happened yet. But I hadn't been, like, timing, so I didn't know what... I guess I could have paused the disc, but still.
Well, it's on the memory alpha saying 1406,
Wow.
which is a lot.
Yes.
Which is most of the episode.
It's a good chunk of it, yeah.
At least a third of it.
Yes, I don't know. Some clunky writing aside, though, I overall enjoyed this one. But I'm also, like, the world's easiest
Yeah.
play. If it's a Mirror Universe,
if
I'm
it's a-
probably happy.
If there were a Mirror Romulan episode, I think you'd explode.
I want to write that.
Uh,
Hire me, Paramount.
We don't need this. We don't need more Mirror Universe.
Well, but you could write a Mirror Universe fanfic while we're doing Discovery.
Fuck that, I want it to be canon.
No, I don't. I'm done with it.
Gotta start
We've
somewhere.
had 2 episodes in the Mirror Universe of Discovery already. There's 2 more coming up this season. It's such a weird percentage of the season that we're dedicating to a concept that I find tired and dumb.
Yeah, they could... I will have to see the next 2, but I'm sure they probably could have compacted it to 2 or 3.
I don't think they needed it at all.
Oh, you never need the Mirror Universe. But the question is, well, they brought us here. How effectively are they doing it?
When does speaking of Mirror Universe stuff in Star Trek that sucks, when does the Section 31 film happen?
I think it already has.
Yeah, by the time we are live, this episode is live, it has happened.
Oh.
Hasn't it already? Wasn't it already?
No.
Oh, it hasn't? Okay.
When are we going to watch it and do it?
In order.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well,
There's
'cause
too
it's-
much stuff
There's
that-
a lot of spoilery stuff.
You have, at the very least, you got to finish Discovery.
Yeah.
Why would
Oh,
you?
yeah, you
why
probably
would you
do.
make a movie that you needed to see the show for?
Because it's a spin-off from
Yeah,
the show.
it was originally going to be a series
See, that would have
spin-off
made more
of
sense.
this.
I
Well,
don't
thank
think-
God they didn't,
Yeah,
because
I'm
the
glad-
movie looks terrible.
It looks really bad. But I don't know. Maybe we've already seen it and we all loved it. But who knows?
Listen, on Friday, Chris messaged me to let me know that there was some terrible new Dennis Leary show on Hulu, and I thought, wow, this is going to be awful. And then I watched it, and it was great.
Really?
I know. I can't believe it either.
That's amazing.
I'm just saying it could
There's
be
a
good.
new.
It's amazing. Dennis Leary's still getting work.
Yeah. There's a new Tim Allen Kat Denning show that looks
The
fucking
same-
horrible.
the
Who's
same
Kat
shit-
Denning? Is that the big tits from
Big
fucking
Two Broke
Two
Girls?
Girls in a Pizza Place?
No, that's a different show. But Two Broke Girls. She was.
That's it.
She was,
Two broke girls, one cup.
She was in
a pizza
WandaVision.
place. Oh yeah.
Yeah. She seems to just. She seems like an alright actress. She just picks up the worst roles and the worst things.
No, she was good on WandaVision.
I never
I
saw
thought.
that.
that was actually quite good.
WandaVision's really good.
But Two
But-
Broke Girls is fucking terrible.
WandaVision
I've seen
was-
like one episode of
Well,
it.
then you can't really be a
No, that
judge,
wasn't
can
enough.
you?
I can.
No, it's
I
a bad
disagree.
show.
I've never seen it.
It,
I'm just
it,
saying
it
that I
indulges
think
in
you
a,
need to.
it indulges in some really bad Asian stereotyping from what I've read. But yeah, no, it's the same show he's made over and over and
Oh,
over.
we're still talking about
The man is living proof that conservatives can get work in Hollywood.
Which show?
The new
Tim
Tim
Allen.
Allen one. Anyway, that's
Oh.
not the point. Star Trek. I'm trying to think. Did I have anything else about this though? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy like the characters having
Yeah.
fun as mirror people. Like that is fun.
Yeah.
It's just so much of it I was like, oh my god, this is all melodrama, or this is all poorly written, or this is all stuff they could have achieved an easier and less stupid way. Oh my god, shoot Tyler now.
Well, let's be honest.
Uh,
That is also a Star Trek tradition of you've got a gun with a stun setting. Why aren't how
Burnham knows how to neck pinch.
I've got a gun
Actually,
in my
Do
room.
we know that her mirror universe phaser has a stun setting?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Probably
Is it
not, huh?
her mirror universe phaser, or is it one she took from Discovery?
That's a good question.
Oh boy.
But you did actually remind me of something I noticed. She does go to try to neck
She
pinch
does,
him.
but he grabs her hand or something.
But I was just like, with that huge, like, 'cause he still had his, like, tactical vest on, and it's much thicker than the Prime Universe ones, it's like, you might not have been able to do that anyway. Like, that might have gotten in the way.
I know, before she spaces that fucker, and she
Yeah.
goes up to him on the teleportation pad, and she punches him in the chest. It's like,
Yeah.
you just broke your hand on his shield, you idiot.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still had his fucking vest on him. You think they would have...
Stripped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot.
That would have been good.
I mean, the ethics of the mirror universe are pretty questionable. You know who else had questionable ethics?
Oh my god, Jake found the segue. I'm so proud of you, Jake.
The minute he mentioned ethics, I was like, I know what he's doing.
He did it. He did it so well.
Oh.
Because this week, our character spotlight over on the blog at sshbpodcast.com, we're talking about Phlox, guys. Our Deneuvelant physician from our favorite show.
Go Phlox yourself.
Ah. You know what's very funny is I found that almost all of my potential good Phlox moments are just him doing his job.
That's basically it.
Like,
yeah.
I realized,
That's me
he did
too.
This, he did this great medical thing. He did this great medical thing. Wow, this is most of my list. Shit, damn it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
no,
it.
none of my goods for him are great, but it's the best I could find.
Wow, who wants to tell us some goods first?
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay, he saves Porthos.
Yay.
Good job, buddy.
This is in
And-
doctor's
and-
orders.
Is it what?
Doctor's orders when everyone else is asleep.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
no.
sick
When
bay.
he's
Night
sick, there's that
bay.
one- where
Oh,
he
that
say,
time he saves Porthos. Yes,
well,
you
but
are
I was
right.
gonna
Right.
say, I was just gonna say, but he also gives Porthos cheese, for which I will give an honorable mention.
Aw.
Number 2, he's good at keeping confidentiality. I feel like well, yes and no, but we'll get there.
We have examples of him doing both.
Yes, exactly. So that's a good and a bad. But like, especially when T'Pol is like, I've been drinking
Yeah.
delirium, deuterium, whatever the fuck it's called,
Trillium B.
Delirium tea.
Robitussin DM. He's like, well, I don't support your addiction, but I won't tell anyone.
I also
Even
feel
though
though, like,
probably I should. Because
from
the
a safety of the
the-
ship perspective.
captain maybe would like to know that his tactical officer, whatever.
I mean, he
whatever
could,
you
he
are.
could have like relieved her of like done a medical
Duty.
relieve her of duty and
Yeah.
just like not given a reason, just like no, she's I got mental health problems.
It's
Yeah.
because she's
Well,
on the
so-
acre.
Well, she also had
cocaine
Penard
K.
syndrome at that time. So he
Oh
couldn't
yeah, and everyone
use-
did know that because
Yeah.
Archer broadcasted across the ship.
Hey, we didn't. He's not bound by HIPAA, you know.
But anyway,
And then I wrote number 3, Sim. I guess.
Oh yeah, so much about Sim.
but is that a?
Oh wait, that's a good thing. Shouldn't
Well, I mean,
he made.
he was
Sim.
nice to baby Sim.
yeah, that's the thing.
Unlike fucking John.
He's good to Sim, and even though it's fucked up, his heart was in the right place. I mean, obviously, it's morally questionable, the whole thing, but he's as good to Sim as you could be to Sim, considering what Sim's situation was.
Yeah, Sim does say at the very end, "You were a great father figure for me, and I, for the 2 days I knew you."
Yeah.
So that's the best I could do with a list of good things.
I got a few. I got a few ones that differ. Because yeah, some of these are overlap, but I selected a few extras. So like I had Porthos and there.
Good boy.
I'm gonna say this was not a big thing, and this one's just being a good person thing. But he was up front with Cutler when she was like, "I want to bang you," and he's like, "Yeah, I'd love to bang you too, but you should know about how nobulin marriages work."
My wife.
So like, yeah, I feel like, and with that information in mind, she was like, actually, yeah, maybe I don't want to bang you, but let's be friends.
But hey,
Aw.
ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
He was
Which is
ethical
fine.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you consent. So yeah, he's a fan of consent.
We can bang, but please know I do put my unwrapped wang doodle in 5 other women.
He convinced, I can't remember the species name, but they're like the enemy. There's that racist dude.
John?
No. There was a racist dude who was refusing treatment because
The
Phlox
Antarans.
Antarans, there you go. The guy, he was refusing treatment because Phlox was a denobulin and they're like blood enemy species.
Yep.
And Phlox uses facts and logic to convince the guy to accept treatment.
Yep. That's in The Breach. That is a good moment.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think that was a good episode,
Yeah,
but it
it's
is.
not a great
good
episode, but
for
like,
him.
and also like Phlox grows a little bit too because he writes a letter or something to his son.
Right, yeah.
Be
this is
less
strange.
racist,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, I somehow, I think I thought of that, but wait, or was that... I thought I made that up and was confusing it with the time Neelix met that scientist that nearly killed his people.
It's kind of a similar story.
Yeah. So that...
Yeah, only Phlox doesn't grow at all about his racism because he's already
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, and I need a third one. Let's see. I got 2 to pick from. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with this one. And if it doesn't come up, I'll have an honorable mention. He, even though he was kidnapped after having a delicious, succulent Chinese meal, he still worked diligently to save the Klingon, to treat the Klingon augments and
I did like that
their
one.
affliction.
So I got some overlap. Similarly, yes, I had not just agreed to help the Klingons, but tried his best to maintain his version of medical ethics. He's like, let's not kill this guy.
But let's genocide a people.
The Klingon general then kills a guy anyway, but he tries. He tries to be like, okay, let's do this my way, please, not the crazy Klingon way. I also brought up his commitment to medical confidentiality in relation to stigma. It's everyone else that gives T'Pol shit away, not him.
We hadn't brought that one up before yet, have we?
No, but we have brought up
Another
his...
example.
Well, I
of-
mentioned confidentiality with
Yeah.
Paul, and
So I had a different example, but it was the same thing.
I'm sorry,
And-
could you repeat what you said? Because I thought you were just repeating one that had come up.
No, sorry.
So I wasn't typing.
In stigma.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't give any of T'Pol's shit away. Everyone else does.
Ah,
John
yes.
and the other Klingon,
and that's
the
the
Vulcan, give
that's
her
the
secrets up.
Panar syndrome.
Yeah.
No, what is it called?
Panar.
Yeah,
Panar.
Panar. Thank you.
And then my fine, this'll do, because I couldn't find things. There were those little shape-shifty wraith things that the hunters were going after in that one, Rogue Planet. He helps come up with a way that they can hide...
the music things?
Were they music?
Wait, was that Voyager?
Yes, that's Voyager.
Oh, son of a bitch.
where they were on
I was
that-
like, wow,
that
what a great
planet.
episode that was.
Yeah, but in Rogue Planet, he helps make a way so that the wraiths can hide from the hunters.
Yeah.
You guys are picking things I hadn't even thought of. But I have a couple spares.
Hell yeah.
They haven't come up yet. First, and this is one I also gave to Archer, but Phlox does it too, and I think Phlox does it better. In Observer Effect, when he learns what the Organians are doing in possessing bodies and letting Trip and Hoshi die of horrible plague shit for their own benefit. And he's like, this is horrible thing you're doing, and I can't stand by it. But you're gonna wipe my memory, aren't you? Damn it.
This is really bad, and I would know, because I've done some shit.
Yeah. So I did really like that Phlox scene. That was pretty good. I liked in Regeneration that not only does he cure himself from being Borg, so, you know, in future, no one's going to be a Borg, right? Right. But also there was that great scene where he knows he's infected, and Hoshi comes to, I don't know, ask to pat the bat or something. And he's like, Hoshi, stay away from me. If I do anything, fucking shoot me. And like that's good. I like that.
Well, knowing that Phlox getting shot was on the table was probably good for all of us, really.
Yes. And the one that I thought Caitlin was bringing up when he hangs out with Porthos is in Doctor's Orders, when he takes care of Porthos while everyone else is put in a coma or something to get through the anomaly thing. And he survives the whole anomaly thing, even though he was going fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went full 7 of 9.
Right, because he went crazy because he needed people around, right?
I think he just went crazy in general.
Well, I think it was actually affecting him, just way slower, so they hadn't realized it.
Well, I think it's alluded to, and I think in another episode, that denobulins have some kind of stress response that causes hallucinations.
Yeah, I actually saw that when I was skimming through Memory Alpha earlier, so yeah, that's something.
So maybe it was just the stress of being on the ship all by himself and having to deal with everything.
Or just a culmination of many things. Yeah, not a great episode, but I think it was a good thing for Phlox. It was a time I wasn't hating Phlox.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we talked about it, it was like, yeah, they've done this better in 1.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
This idea.
1 is excellent.
I had an honorable mention I'll bring up. You know, and the reason I didn't do it is because I kind of brought up the same thing to Paul, but he spent like years and years and years working on a cure for Archer's memory loss.
Oh, yeah.
Twilight. And eventually finds it.
That's good. I get a very a very low bar honorable mention for not fucking T'Pol and Bounty. You jumped over that low bar, Phlox. Good job.
All right.
But he may have stubbed his toe on the way over.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's get to what he's really about.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, remember that time there was that race of people that he just decided had evolved for genocide?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
LOL. That's what my list says. 1, evolved for genocide. LOL.
Lol. Oh, jeez.
Point 2, my wife, as in Trip. Why don't you sleep with my wife?
So gross.
Because it's like, you know what's really cool? A sexual harassment episode where we can like do some comedy sexual harassment.
Oh yeah, the placement is so bad.
Like that is the worst episode to have that B plot in.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good B plot, but you literally could not have Nat? You could not.
You could not.
Why are we peaking so much?
Because they're shouting.
Because we're
we're
being
loud.
loud. But we're talking about.
I hadn't seen that much red in a long time.
But yeah,
that's
no,
blue, Ames.
No, up here it was red.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, no, it's like that is possibly the worst. Aside, like the literally only worst episode that could have been the B plot in is in the one where the violation actually happened.
Oh my god.
Like that is literally like
Ew.
in order the worst ones. That one and Stigma.
And then every other one.
Yeah, like I mean, it's not a good B plot
Oh.
regardless, but like, fucking Berman.
And item 3 is it's 3 parts. 3 parts of 3.
Ooh.
Food.
Oh, the food,
Okay.
yes! I'm so happy the food's coming up.
You're stealing the goddamn food off of other people's fucking plates. You're feeding those poor animals your goddamn disgusting toenails. And you told everyone that Reed was fucking allergic to pineapple. I mean, I was trying to pat you on the back for, like, not violating HIPAA all the time, but what the fuck, bro?
More like a hippopotamus.
More like hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Hip-hop anonymous. Anybody? Big Daddy? Anybody? The 90s, eh? No? Alright, anyway, that's it.
He's a big hypocrite.
That's true.
Mm.
All right. Well, just because I want to see this one have a sweep, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I am going to double up on the not treating of the not Meg, the other people.
Dear
Oh,
Doctor.
yeah. The Dear Doctor
The
people.
Dear Doctor people. Because, yeah, that was pretty egregious, and I hate that episode. So
That was awful.
I'm doubling up on that one with Caitlin. But I have a spare I can bring up later if we need one. I'm going to say hiding the knowledge about the treatment that could possibly have saved Sim.
Yup.
Because Sim found it on his own and was like, "Oh, we could do this thing." He's like, "Actually, yeah, I thought of that, but because I think it was because it would take."
Your natural evolution is 15 days.
Well, no, it's because we don't know if it'll work, and by the time we find out if it worked or not, it'll be too late to save Trip, and we'll lose both of you. Which is like, okay, but Sim is here. He doesn't want to die. You don't Tuvik Sim. Which in the end, I guess Sim consents, so it's all right, I guess. Yeah, that time that he erased Degra's memory.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Over and over again, you think? Oh God!
That was my headcanon. That this is like the third or fourth time they've done it, but and like he just figured it out earlier the previous times, but because Phlox is a scumbag. But no, at least one time erasing Degra's memory so that John couldn't torture him.
Was he the one that offered it too, or did Archer request it?
I don't know.
Regardless, it's still terrible, and Phlox is a monster.
But he Pulaski's Degra. Not cool.
I knew everyone was going to say it. I'm not going to not say it. Dear Doctor!
Hooray!
Encouraging Trip to bang Feasel when he clearly doesn't want to.
Gross.
Yep.
Vulcan neuropressure was his idea.
Yeah.
In the Zindi. He kicked off that whole fucking arc. Fuck you, Phlox.
Yep. I have like little sub ones of that one, which not only does he trick fucking Trip into going and getting the neuropressure for one thing, forces T'Pol against her will to do it.
Yep.
But then later on, he makes T'Pol do it again to Amanda Cole in Harbinger.
To Trip's girlfriend.
Which is disgusting. And then later in the Enar, when I think Trip is like, I don't know if I can be on a ship with T'Pol anymore, and all the Vulcan neuropressure thing, that I'm sure spurred it off. And Phlox does not even remember that he's the one that told him to do it in the first place. It's like, you're a gross man, and I don't like you.
Yeah, no one does. At this table.
You're a gross man, and I don't like you. Yeah, dude, once again, the number of people who are just enchanted with Phlox.
I don't get it.
Is absolutely, I don't understand it. And people whose opinions I respect and value otherwise, Like, if it was just a bunch of idiots, I'd be like, wow, you're stupid, I would expect that. But it's like people who are, like, otherwise intelligent.
Yeah, I just find the guy off-putting. From the even without, like, the genocide episode, but one of my absolute, least favorite episodes, which is why it's at the tippy top of my list. But I have spares, so, Jake, you can consider this the sweepy sweep for Dear Doctor, because holy shit, that's just atrocious.
Bad.
But other things I wanted to bring up, just to make sure it makes the list. Caitlin mentioned a couple times in the first list that he's good at, keeping your medical history confidential. But when he's not? When he blabs to Archer someone's medical history? Is in Chosen Fucking Realm when one of the women asked him about getting an abortion.
Oh, that's right.
And he blabs that to Archer. And that is very personal information, Phlox, you fucking monster. You don't go telling people that.
I forgot all about that.
Especially because that was like a first contact situation, too. Is that why he did it, though? Because he was, like, worried about violating...
No, because it was all part of the ploy to try to get the ship back, I think.
He was just like, I need a man to weigh in on this. I had a joke, good one. Oh,
I still have more bad ones.
Oh my God, Ames, I'm sorry.
Bad ones.
Go. Sorry.
There's a whole lot in Night in Sickbay that I find disgusting. So even though it's nice that he's there to help Porthos and all the thing, he decides to tell Archer that Archer needs to fuck T'Pol, which is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
Oh yeah.
And just otherwise, he's just being a weird, loud creep all episode long while Archer's trying to sleep. And he's there doing his fucking tongue scraping and toenail clipping and just other loud shit. When you've got people in your med bay, go do that in your quarters, dick.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
I don't like it.
He's really inconsiderate.
I mean, I know we talked about it at the time, but it was like, he told John staying there wouldn't help. Like, listen to the doctor, John. I'm a little torn on that one, is what I'm saying.
Well, I like that John was there. It's one of few things I liked about John, was that he wanted to be with the dog.
No, he loves his
And
Porthos.
Phlox doesn't understand why a sentient being or sapient being would want to be around an animal. Because he doesn't get it. He fucking doesn't get it. And I want one more, and I think it's gonna be This one that always just rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it's probably like a little niggling thing that I don't like. And that is I think it's in Cold Front, when I'm going to say Acarians, but I could be making this up, are doing a prayer thing. And they invite Phlox to be in on their prayer thing, and he just starts doing the prayer thing, even though, like, I don't think it was ever clued in that he should be the one that starts it.
Right, he winds up, like, running the show.
Yeah, it was just a weird thing I didn't like about him.
They ask him if he'd like to lead.
They don't say lead, they said join.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We grepped about this when it came up.
No, I believe you.
They never said lead.
But yeah, she's right.
I got a dishonorable mention.
Yeah.
His fucking horrible CG smile.
Oh.
And by extension, his horrible CG puffer fish defense mechanism.
But on the other side of the same coin, at least we only see those things like 2 times each. That was my joke good thing. That was the thing I was going to mention. So actually...
Nice. Very good. They dovetailed.
They did. That was beautiful. Thank you.
I also wanted to mention, because I thought of it when you mentioned the Porthos thing, he also uses animals for medical experimentation, which is, kind of questionable.
Well, so do we.
Well, we do, but we're primitive humans. He's a distant future Denobulan.
Who thinks that you can evolve to genocide? I mean, he's not going to give a shit about a literal lab rat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that he
or bat or whatever
experiments on them usually. He just collects their poop to use as analgesics.
I mean,
you can still question whether or not that's ethical.
I mean, he does make Sim out of one of them.
Anal poops and P6.
Yeah. True.
Well, that was funny.
Like Sim I guess Sim is technically one of his lab creatures.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Right, because he's like a slug or something, isn't he?
Yeah, some kind of magic slug.
Born to die.
Couple dishonorable mentions because I feel like throwing them out there. In Fight or Flight, it's just gross. This is one of the early moments we have of Phlox in season 1. Is him looking at crewman Bennett and Hayden and wondering, I bet they're intending to mate. I wonder if they let me watch.
I want to go
You're
watch.
fucking disgusting, and I don't like you.
And it's also been
it's
established.
our first impression of the guy, and I dislike him.
And it's also been established that he's lived on Earth for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's close friends.
You can watch porn.
Do they not have Pornhub?
You can watch porn.
Guys, Pornhub's already been made illegal in Florida.
Like, I'm sure
It's a
Dr.
slippery
Lucas
slope.
would let
It's
him
trick
watch because they seem really
No.
close.
Anyway, let's also not forget all the movie talking.
Talking
It's
during
rude.
the movie, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phlox is just the worst.
Oh, he sucks.
You said you had an honorable mention, Caitlin.
No, that was the one. The
It was-
fact that we only saw
yes,
his dumb
the
CG
pufferfish.
face
Ha,
only
ha,
a couple
ha.
times. The first time he did that smile, I was like, no, this is not right.
It's so smug. It just drives home his smugness.
Optimism,
definitely.
Captain.
But people love him. People fucking love this character. and
Again,
I don't get
otherwise intelligent people, I don't know.
it. Very strange. Where's my card for Jake?
Oh, I get a thing. That's right. I'm doing the outro now. Hello, and welcome to A Star to Steer.
We already did time loop jokes.
Oh, damn it. Well, if you hate Phlox as much as we hate Phlox, cool. If you don't, that's cool too, because we're all friends here. But you know who's not a friend? Mirror Empress Giorgio.
We don't know that yet.
We don't know that, but we're assuming, because she seemed kind of bitchy when we saw her. But we'll find out next week on A Star to Steer Her By, where we'll be covering Vaulting Ambition. Vaulting Ambition.
Why are you like this? Why is this the way you are? Can it be different?
Who knows? It's just born this way.
The delivery.
Vaulting Ambition. This is Discovery, Season 1, Episode 12, first airing January 21st, 2018.
He's still like this.
Which we will be covering. I'm just reading what's on the card. You wrote it. So that'll be covered next week on our Star to Steer Her By show podcast, which you can download on the internet at Star to Steer Her By. If you search that word on SoundCloud or even Google, perhaps, I don't know, just search for it. SSHB Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr, where you can read about the blog that we make and then read the blog itself after. Also, as I think I mentioned last week, don't forget to subscribe and like our podcast and vote for us in the podcast category awards or something on Apple. That's right. That's the one. Apple, 5 stars. for us because of greatness that we are. Then you like us. Or give us 4 stars, but don't give us less than 4 stars. If it's less than 4, don't even bother because it just fucks us up. So just, do that.
You know what would be nice if Chris could cut all this?
I'm just doing... This is what people do at the end of things, is they appeal to people's guilt.
Other podcasts have a script and they just read it and then they're done.
Why don't we have that?
I don't know.
Your script had 2 lines and you yelled at me for reading them.
The new Chris laugh. Actually, the same Chris laugh.
Anyway, that is all. Catch us next time on Sorry to See You Hereby. This has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
Bye.
Drop us some of that Phlox voice, Caitlin.
Jake, I would think that after doing this 300 times, you would know the outro.
Well,
Are you going to finish that succulent Chinese meal? Okay, the wolf inside. Aru. I'm meeting you halfway, you dirty hippies. All right. It's a Futurama? A Futurama
But in
reference.
reference to what?
Very quickly, on the DVD commentary for Futurama, they said to Billy West, "Hey, Billy, tell everybody why you do Nixon's voice that way." And especially with the Arus and stuff. And he goes, "'Cause when I was a child and saw Richard Nixon on TV, I thought he was turning into a werewolf."